Hey guys, welcome back to the Kool-Aid Podcast. Welcome back to another video. On today's video, guys, we're going to be talking about Barcelona's plans for these upcoming transfer windows. We're going to be talking about what they're going to be looking like. We're going to be also looking at how Barcelona, they're implementing the highline throughout the Barcelona academy teams and everything like that. And then towards the end of the video, I'm going to be talking about the renewal of Eric Garcia. Is Eric Garcia going to continue at Barcelona for the foreseeable future? We're going to be talking about that all in today's video. But before we get started on the video, guys, make sure to follow me on all of my social media platforms. Everything is posted down below in the description. Go over there and check me out. That way you guys to stay up to date with everything that I do on the channel. And as well, the link to become a member is also posted down below. But as always, guys, let's get started with the video. All right, guys, let's get started with the video and let's talk about, Barcelona's sporting department for a little bit. Because as we do know, Barcelona in this next upcoming transfer window, in the January transfer window, and even in the summer, changes and transfers should be made. Players should be brought in, and Barcelona, they have identified two positions in which they do want to reinforce. The number 9 position, as we all know, Robert Lewandowski is aging. He's getting older and older, 37, about to turn 38. And pretty soon, we can't be relying on him for forever. And obviously, injuries are piling up, etc., etc., etc. And so the other position that Barcelona do want to reinforce is the center back department. And Mundo Deportivo has reported that the Barcelona staff members, they've traveled to Germany to scout several players, and they scouted 2 players in particular. Nico Schlotterbeck from Borussia Dortmund, who is out of contract in 2027, and also Upamecano, Bayern Munich defender, who is a free agent next summer. And those are 2 likely options that Barcelona, they are looking to reinforce the team. Both quality players. Upamecano, he's had, I would say a rough time in the last couple of years, but he's been really, really solid this season, and he's been improving under Vincent Kompany. In the last recent game against PSG, you saw what a quality center back he is, and it's crazy that he was called Upa Maguire, a couple, I'd say, a season or 2 ago. But Upamecano, a player who has all the characteristics to play under Hansi Flick systems, and Nico Schlotterbeck as well. Players who are good on the ball, players who are aggressive, players who can dominate their space, and these are all players that Barcelona they should be looking at to reinforce the defense. And I'm glad that they are. They're scouting them, they're getting their reports on them. But besides that, Barcelona, in order to make all these things happen, Mundo Deportivo is also reporting that 2 things need to happen. 1, return to the 1-to-1 rule, which means Barcelona returning to the Camp Nou, and also having that VIP seat sale scheduled and finalized, everything like that. That should be done. Barcelona should be receiving the revenue boost and then be able to return to the 1-to-1. I know we've been saying this, months upon months upon months, and at this point, what is it, like a couple of years that we've been saying this, return to the 1-to-1. But the second thing as well is also the departure of Robert Lewandowski, as that would save up roughly 40 million euros in the wage bill. Robert Lewandowski, I believe he's earning roughly around 37 million euros, so a little over 20 net. But that would free up huge amounts of space in the wage bill. Also, the departure of Ter Stegen could also really help. And so with those 2 conditions being met, Barcelona would have the financial capabilities in order to sign a defensive reinforcement and as well look for reinforcements in that front line. And we've seen reports, we're seeing, Guidassi from Dortmund, we're seeing Ete Young from Levante, Julian Alvarez, which is a dream, as well as Haaland, players such as these quality, and even rumors in regards to Harry Kane. But those are the necessities and the conditions that Barcelona they need to meet before they're able to go out into the market and sign players. And so, nothing new, but on the one side, very, very well that Barcelona, understand that, and as well that they're looking and they're identifying the targets in which we desperately need to reinforce. We need a new center back and we need a new striker. Those are the 2, I would say, priority spots and reinforcements that we do need. Reinforce those 2 positions, and then on, reinforce the wingers, reinforce the midfield, reinforce the fullbacks, because that's where we can build on. But moving on now, guys, I want to be talking very briefly about Hansi Flick's high line, because right now Mundo Deportivo as well is reporting that the confidence in Hansi Flick's system is so great, and Barcelona, they have so much trust in him that they're even having Hansi Flick explain the high line, the system, and making that transition in all levels of La Masia, making sure Barcelona understand that style of play. That way, the transitions from the reserves teams to the first team would be easier, and it wouldn't be such as a distinct form of play. And right now, obviously, Barcelona, their priority is that possession, is that ability to play with the ball, but the pressing is something that is very, very different in all different levels, and that's what Hansi Flick wants to work on. And this is something that obviously in lower levels, without the ability to go to VAR, it's going to be very difficult for these youth teams and reserve teams in order to play with that high line. But them building that repertoire and those reps and gaining that experience playing that system will obviously benefit Barcelona when they go into the first team and play with that high line and play with that aggressive nature. But here's the thing, what happens in 2 or 3 or 4 years when Hansi Flick is no longer the Barcelona coach? Are Barcelona still going to be, having that style of play where they're trying to play with this high line, trying to play super aggressive, without the ball and press like a pack of wolves, or are they just going to go and I would say not sort of implement that, or maybe implement that to like 1 or 2 teams, maybe the Barcelona B team, but not the U10s, the U15s, those type of youth teams. I don't know, but we'll have to see. But I think this is a great idea. Barcelona, sort of sharing that style of play and being able to acclimatize some of the Barcelona athletic players that way to make the transition to the first team easier. And with the injuries that Barcelona have been having, these youth team players, they are going to have their chances, and that would give them a greater opportunity in order to shine in the lights of Hansi Flick. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts down below in the comments. What do you guys make of that report from Mundo Deportivo? And the last piece of news that I did want to discuss with you guys today is in regards to Eric Garcia, because reports are that right now the aim is to reach for an agreement and a renewal for Eric Garcia's contract, which they do aim to finalize and complete before the end of the year. Reports are saying that Barcelona, they want a 4 to 5 year extension, while Eric Garcia prefers a shorter one with an optional year. But the priority is for him to stay. And I think those are just things that Barcelona and Eric Garcia's entourage, they are going to have to just negotiate. But these are details that can be resolved pretty easily. And I'm very, very happy that Barcelona, they are going to be looking to renew Eric Garcia's contract. If Eric Garcia is to leave, I would want minimum 30 million euros for a player of his quality who can play in the midfield as a CDM, play in the center back position, play as a right back, play as a left back, and be sort of utility player and provide a very high level. I think you can find very, very few players out there in the market for, of this quality for that price. And so if any teams are interested in him, then they would be, looking to put in offers of 30, 40, 50 million euros for a player such as Eric Garcia. And I'm really, really happy that he's staying at Barcelona under Hansi Flick. We've seen the best version of him. And that spell at Girona really did him a world of good. But guys, that was it for the Barcelona news of the day. Definitely let me know your guys' thoughts down below in the comments. What do you guys make of everything I discussed in today's video? And I'll see you guys all in the next one. Peace out, guys. Alegría, el estilo a lo que más quiero en la vida.